Доброго вечора, в ефірі випуск Ньюс. Сьогодні у програмі новорічний випуск. Як святкувати паровозик і приготувати на новий рік. А також
The way China will respond is, I learned about roaches. Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole.
голос Байдена. Чому насправді речно? Так, коротко про головне. Путі. Новорічна Санта, який перевішувався святкувати новий 25-й рік. Merry Christmas. Ось такий новий рік, святкуємо кожен день. А тепер зараз розпочинаємо новий рік і продовжувати із українськими. А сьогодні голос Байдена.
I'm also the only guy that got assault weapons banned, and the number of clips in a gun banned. My long time friend, and she's a friend, she's been my friend in and out of public life, is the pandemic is that the president has no intercourse whatsoever with the rest of the world on dealing with these things. And those poor people who have lost, anyway. I'm beginning to see why your wife left you. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Donald Trump thinks health care is a privilege. Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. President Trump and the demagogues around the world avoid having an excuse to walk by the dealer and say, no, I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom. We need to work again with Canada and Mexico as neighbors, not as adversaries. Saks or Benettons or Nike or whatever in the market in their places where the malls. But we lead by the example of our power, not just the example of our power, but the example we're out there and it's what we say. By strengthening. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Demanding that HIV/AIDS be destigmatized and treated. We provide efficiency for appliances. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of de-escalation studies have marked. There have been de-escalation studies. The way China will respond is when we gather the rest of the world that in fact believes in open trade and making sure that we're in a position that the world that we deal with WHO. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap. Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth, out of $1.4 billion. I'm also the only guy that got assault weapons banned.
Таким було новорічний випуск Ньюс. До зустрічі за тиждень. Скоро буде наш Берлусконі.